In the entire history of our species, there is one molecule that has reshaped our biology more than any other. It is not a virus, it is not a medicine, it is a source of energy that nature intended to be rare, seasonal, and difficult to obtain. Today, it is everywhere. It hides in your bread, your sauces, your drinks, and even your health foods. It has hijacked the reward centers of the human brain so effectively that neuroscientists compare its neural footprint to that of cocaine and nicotine. We call it sucrose, sugar. Most of us believe we control our intake. We think we eat sugar because we like the taste. But the biological reality is far more unsettling. You don't eat sugar because you want to. You eat it because a complex network of hormones, neurotransmitters, and gut bacteria are literally screaming at your brain to find it. But what happens if you simply stop? Not for a diet, not to lose a few pounds, but to conduct a radical biological experiment on yourself. What happens if you cut the supply line completely for 30 days? We aren't talking about eating less. We are talking about zero added sugar. No honey, no syrup, no soda, no processed sweets. We are going to track the hour-by-hour physiological reconstruction of the human body. We will look at how your liver sheds visceral fat, how your neurons repair their dopamine receptors, and how your skin literally unages at a cellular level. This is the timeline of your body on and off sugar. Let's start the clock. Before we begin the timeline, you need to understand why the next 30 days will feel like a war. You are fighting against 200,000 years of evolutionary programming. For our ancestors, sugar was a survival signal. Sweetness in nature meant one thing: safe energy. In a world full of bitter poisons and scarce calories, finding a beehive or a ripe fruit bush was like winning the lottery. When your ancestor ate sugar, a specific switch flipped in their brain. This switch does three things. It shuts down satiety. It tells the body, do not get full, eat as much as possible right now. It stores fat. It signals the liver to convert this energy into adipose tissue immediately, preparing for a coming winter or famine. And it creates a memory. It imprints the location of the sugar source into the brain so you never forget where you found it. This is called the Thrifty Gene Hypothesis. It kept us alive during the Ice Age.
But today, the famine never comes. Winter never arrives. But the switch stays on. We are genetically engineered to binge on sugar because our biology assumes it might disappear tomorrow. When you decide to stop eating it, your hindbrain, the primitive lizard brain, perceives this not as a health choice, but as a survival threat. It thinks you are entering a famine, and it will fight you. The first few hours after your last sugary meal are deceptively calm. Your blood glucose is slowly dropping from its post-meal spike. Usually around the 3-hour mark, you would reach for a snack, a cookie, a sweetened coffee, a piece of fruit. But this time, you don't. By hour 8, your insulin levels begin to fall. Insulin is the storage hormone. Its job is to escort sugar from your blood into your cells. When you stop eating sugar, your pancreas gets its first break in years. However, your brain isn't happy. The brain consumes 20% of your body's total energy, despite only being 2% of your weight. It is a glucose hog. As blood sugar stabilizes at a lower baseline, the brain senses a deficit. It sends a signal to the adrenal glands: release cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. This is why by hour 18 or 20, you don't just feel hungry, you feel irritable, you feel a low-level anxiety. This is a physiological stress response designed to mobilize you to hunt for food. You might find yourself opening the fridge, staring inside, and closing it, only to return 5 minutes later. This is the dopamine loop. searching for closure. Your brain is waiting for the reward it has been trained to expect. If you are attempting this challenge, this is the first hurdle. It's not hunger, it's anxiety masking itself as hunger. Drink water, go to sleep, because the real battle starts when you wake up. Welcome to the hardest days of the entire month, days 2, 3, and 4. This is where 60% of people quit. To understand why, we have to look at the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center. Sugar stimulates the release of opioids and dopamine in the brain. It hits the same receptors as morphine and heroin, though to a lesser intensity. Over years of high sugar intake, your brain has downregulated these receptors. Think of it like a loud room. If the music is too loud, too much sugar, your brain puts in earplugs, removes receptors, to protect itself. Now that you've cut the music, stopped sugar, your brain is still wearing the earplugs. Normal life feels quiet, boring, flat. This is a temporary state called anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. You might feel lethargic. You might get a headache. This headache is often caused by electrolyte shifts. As insulin drops, your kidneys signal the body to dump excess water. For every gram of sugar, glycogen, your body was storing, it was holding on to 3 to 4 grams of water. As you burn through your sugar reserves, you are literally deflating. You are losing water weight rapidly, sometimes 2 to 3 kilograms in just a few days. But with that water, you lose sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This causes the keto flu, dizziness, brain fog, and muscle cramps. Crucial tip: salt is your friend right now. Your body is flushing electrolytes. Adding a pinch of high-quality salt to your water can instantly cure the day 3 headache. Don't suffer unnecessarily. Meanwhile, deep in your cells, a fuel switch is being flipped. For decades, your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, have run on dirty fuel, glucose. Now they are sputtering. They are trying to switch to clean fuel, fat, or ketones. But the machinery is rusty. Your body hasn't had to burn fat for fuel efficiently in years. This metabolic inflexibility is why you feel tired. Your body has millions of calories of stored fat, but it has forgotten how to access them. Hold on, the switch is about to flip. By day 5, the headache subsides, but a civil war is breaking out in your gut. Your microbiome is made up of trillions of bacteria. Roughly speaking, they fall into 2 camps regarding sugar. The sugar lovers, like Candida and certain firmicutes, and the fiber lovers, like Bacteroides and Akkermansia. When you eat sugar, you feed the bad guys. They multiply, and they release chemicals that inflame the gut lining and, terrifyingly, can travel up the vagus nerve to the brain to manipulate your cravings. Yes, your bacteria can control your mind. But right now, on day 7, the sugar lovers are starving. They are dying by the billions. As they die, some researchers believe they release endotoxins in a process called a die-off reaction. This can lead to unexpected skin breakouts or a sudden wave of fatigue around day 7. This is a good sign. It means the enemy is retreating. As the sugar-loving bacteria die, the inflammation in your gut lining begins to heal. The leaky gut seals up. This means fewer toxins are leaking into your bloodstream. You might notice something strange around day 8. Your bloating disappears. It wasn't just fat, it was fermentation. You were literally brewing alcohol and gas in your gut from all the sugar. Now your stomach is flatter than it has been in years. Congratulations, you have made it to day 10. You have survived the withdrawal. You have survived the gut war. Now the magic begins. This is the phase of sensory restoration. Your taste buds have a lifespan of about 10 to 14 days. The taste buds that were numbed by artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup are dead. New cells have replaced them, cells that have never known the hyper-palatable assault of modern processed food. Suddenly, natural food tastes intense. A strawberry tastes like candy. Plain almonds taste sweet. Roasted carrots burst with flavor. You are rediscovering the culinary world as nature intended it. You realize that processed food didn't taste good. It just tasted loud. Simultaneously, a massive cleaning operation is finishing up in your liver. Sugar, specifically fructose, is metabolized almost exclusively in the liver. When you overload it, the liver turns fructose into liver fat. This is the origin of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. By day 14, without the daily assault of fructose, your liver begins to defat itself. It clears out the visceral fat clogging its cells. Why does this matter? Because a healthy liver is the master controller of your metabolism. As your liver heals, your energy levels stabilize. Gone are the 3 p.m. crashes. Gone is the need for a nap after lunch. Your energy is no longer a roller coaster of spikes and crashes. It is a steady, burning flame. By week 3, you might notice something different about your mind. You are remembering names easier. You are focused on tasks for longer. The brain fog has lifted. This is due to a molecule called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Studies have shown that high sugar and insulin levels suppress BDNF. When you stop sugar, BDNF levels rise. This chemical promotes the growth of new neurons and protects existing ones. You are literally growing a better brain. Furthermore, you have stopped the process of glycation. Glycation happens when excess sugar in your blood binds to proteins and fats, forming sticky byproducts called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Think of this like rust inside your body. AGEs damage your blood vessels, they damage your organs, and they damage your collagen. Collagen is what keeps your skin elastic and youthful. Sugar makes collagen brittle and prone to wrinkles. By day 20, because you have halted the production of new AGEs, your skin begins to look different. Less red, less puffy, more elastic. People might ask if you've had a facial. You haven't. You just stopped sugaring your skin from the inside out.
We are in the home stretch, day 22 to 30. At this point, the psychological battle is largely won. You don't walk past a bakery and feel pain. You might just feel indifference. But the most profound change is hormonal. We are talking about the hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. Ghrelin tells you when to eat. Leptin tells you when to stop. In a high-sugar body, these signals are broken. High insulin blocks leptin from reaching the brain. You can be full, but your brain never gets the memo, so you keep eating. This is leptin resistance. By day 30, your insulin sensitivity is restored. The blockage is gone. For the first time in perhaps years, you eat a meal and you hear a clear, distinct signal from your body. I am done. That is enough. This is metabolic freedom. You are no longer a slave to the next snack. You can go 4, 5, or 6 hours without eating and feel perfectly fine. Your body has remembered how to access its own fat stores for fuel. Your blood pressure is likely lower. Your triglycerides, fat in the blood, have likely plummeted, sometimes by 20 or 30%. Your inflammation markers, CRP, are down, and your risk for type 2 diabetes has dropped significantly. You have essentially rebooted your system. So, day 30 is here. What now? Do you go back to the donuts and the sodas? Here is the truth. You can, but you probably won't want to. And if you do, your body will react immediately. If you eat a massive slice of cake on day 31, you will likely feel terrible. Your heart will race. You might get a headache. You will feel the sugar hangover acutely. This is your body telling you, we don't need this anymore. This 30-day timeline isn't really about banning sugar forever. It's about resetting your baseline. It's about breaking the addiction so that you are in control, not the chemical. Once you realize how good you can feel, how sharp, how energetic, how calm, that sugary snack simply loses its power. But there is a way to accelerate this process. There is a biological cheat code that can condense the benefits of day 14 into day 3. It involves combining this sugar cessation with a specific eating window. It's called autophagy, and it only happens when you stop eating entirely for specific periods.
Have you ever tried to quit sugar? What was your experience like? Share your journey in the comments below. And if you found this timeline helpful, consider subscribing for more explorations into human health and biology.